Ja Morant the only guy that's untouchable?
Yes. And if I'm Brooklyn, if I'm hearing that you're only willing to give me a package of picks but not players, then I give you the Russell Simmons treatment. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. Move on. Right? You wait for the trade value for Kevin Durant to go up because other suitors will come to the table. My thing is, at the end of the day, look, Zach Kleiman, who is a reigning executive VP of the year for the Memphis Grizzlies, has done an exquisite job with this team thus far. The one piece I'm not giving up is probably Desmond Bane. I'm giving up Jaren Jackson.
Who's a good player.
He made first team all defense.
Yeah.
He averaged around 16 and a half, 17 points, 7 rebounds. He was injured, still injured a little bit this offseason.
He was one of those guys in that draft, Jay, I thought, that you could have argued as the first pick because the floor was very high. Like you knew he was going to be at least good, and that's what he is. He's at least good.
Great. But I have Steven Adams. And again, he can't do the things all offensively like Jaren Jackson, but to a degree, Key, I look at that and say, okay, for 4 unprotected first-round picks, a protected first-round pick through Golden State, and Jaren Jackson with some other pieces, Dylan Brooks, I give that up.
So you're
for Kevin
saying,
Durant.
no, I just want to be very clear. You're saying when it comes down to it, and you could cut everyone off at pass.
Jaren
and get
Jackson, Dylan
KD
Brooks
with Ja Morant, and they say Desmond Bane, or that's the end of these talks. You're ending talks.
Well, I want to keep Desmond Bane because I like Desmond Bane and I like his growth. I like where he's going. Think about the guards in the Western Conference: Stephen Curry, Luka, Jamal Murray, Damian Lillard. He can guard
deal
1,
breaker
2.
for you. Deal
It's
breaker
close.
for you.
It's close. I'd rather give up Dylan Brooks. I'd rather think I can compensate by giving you Dylan Brooks and some other assets along with Jaren Jackson and his 4 unprotected first-round picks. I do that for Kevin Durant because it puts me in the top tier of the Western Conference, up there with Golden State and the Clippers to win the whole thing.
KD and Ja. What what do you say?
It's cute, but I'm good. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow my team organically, like Golden State, like Boston. I'm trying to do that. I get it. It's KD. It's top player in the world. All of these sort of things. That's not enough. I don't think Ja and KD's enough to get past Golden State or a healthy Clipper team or
it's close,
Dallas
though.
for that matter, or Phoenix. I don't see it, but Jay knows more about the NBA than I do. That's just
Key,
the
Jay.
reality of
You
it.
know
I
hoops.
don't
Get
believe
out of
it
here,
is.
Key. We watch hoops all the time. You know hoops. You're just think about saying Ja Morant and Kevin Durant.
No, Jay, I got one for you. Hold on,
cute.
Key, I got one for you. Here it is, Jay. Ready? Key, this is for you. KD and Westbrook had a lot of success together. Now give Westbrook an outside shot. That's Ja and KD. It's like you gave Westbrook an outside shot and made him young again. If Westbrook could shoot from the outside, they might have won the whole thing.
But you got to remember, Westbrook and KD also had some exceptional guys like James Harden on the floor with them. Let's not act like it was just KD and Westbrook.
No, they didn't have Harden when they fought. They didn't have Harden when they played Golden State in 2016 and almost beat them.
But you can fill out what the rest of your roster looks like with additional pieces.
At Ibaka, though.
And size.
Yeah,
You still have
Serge.
size with like Zaire Williams. If you have size with Steven Adams. You still have other pieces.
And they had Steven Adams, too, by the way.
I'm not saying it's a done deal, but Key, this puts you in the conversation to win the Western Conference. And they were close before going against Golden State. But I still do think with Denver and Jamal Murray and Jokic, with the Clippers, if they can remain healthy, with Golden State, this puts them right at the top of the Western Conference.
Big
See, I think there's better spots for KD to win a championship. I just do.
Oh, I might agree with you
from
on
Memphis's point of view, Key, here's the thing that should not be overlooked.
And wait a
Markets
minute,
like Memphis don't get players
Thank
like
you.
KD at this stage in their careers. They might get him in the draft, but then they wind up losing him. If you're Memphis and you have a transformative figure like Ja on the team already, and you got a lot of draft capital, so even after the trade, you could probably still put a few good pieces together, and you have a chance to get a dude like KD,
And Max,
hard
I
to say
want you
no.
on that. Don't you want to keep Ja Morant in Memphis?
Of course.
Don't you want to give him his best chance to win? So when all this stuff went down with KD, Ja Morant is the one who tweeted "easy money."
Yeah,
so
but
I'm just saying.
But he's a kid, man. He's all the Kevin Durant, woo, whip-de-doo. He ain't thinking everything. He's not thinking about spacing, shooters. He's not thinking about those sort of things. He's just thinking, I got KD. Okay, you got to have some shooters too. What, you going to put it all on KD's back to shoot?
No, that's
the lights out?
But Ja's another shooter.
Hold on to Desmond Bane. I mean, I look, Dylan Brooks, I like Dylan Brooks, but like Dylan Brooks to me isn't it. Jaren Jackson has good upside. I see it, but I think for his position, even though he was first team all defense, I think I can find athletic type bigs that can suit my needs.
But let's say it is Dylan Brooks because they must have Desmond Bane. Dylan Brooks is your third offensive option. It's pretty good. As your third option, Key? I mean, that's just points out what it would mean to bring KD.
I like outside of the Lakers, clearly, in the way that they built things, I like the organic growth and where Memphis is already going with the young guns as they grow. When I look at teams like I look at Philadelphia, they were trying to grow a certain way. I look at Golden State's history. They grew a certain way.
Yeah, but
and Memphis is on that trajectory. Instead of trying to just wholesale everything away that you've developed to go get KD, why don't you keep developing that? Why don't you keep developing it? Because if you go get KD and you don't win nothing, and you done gave everything away that you could have potentially developed, I mean, that's just me.
But Key, Philadelphia gave away assets in order to get James Harden. And now we're talking about them being one of the favorites in the Eastern Conference.
They did after they got to a certain point of growth. Memphis just now started growing.
Just mark this down. The reason why you collect picks is to have the opportunity to bring a transcendent player to your organization. We went down to Memphis. We spent time in Memphis. The DNA of who Memphis is as a franchise fits who Kevin Durant is with Ja Morant. So, yes, I do like some of the younger pieces, but if you're right there and you're on the verge of being that next tier top team for Memphis, you got to go for it with Kevin Durant.
To me, I like Desmond Bane too. I like Jaren Jackson. I like them a lot. They're good players. They in no point in their career will they ever be as good as KD is right now. And the bottom line is with Ja and KD, and let's say Jay, it's a deal breaker. It must be Bane, and you have to keep Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams, and you still have some draft picks left to supplement going forward. I don't. If I'm Memphis, I can't say no to that. No. I have to do that.
I agree with you,
and that's why I think it's going to be a tough negotiation. Because I agree. I think they're going to want to hold on to Desmond Bane. But in the end, what are you going to say? No? You're not going to be able to say no if you're Memphis. And Brooklyn's got to know that. 888-SAY-ESPN, 729-3776. Should Memphis go all in for KD? Should they go all in? What would that be? I mean, I look at Ja and KD. I really do. I see Westbrook is young again, but he can also shoot from the outside. And I'm going to put him with KD. Man, that might be enough to do it right there. If Westbrook just shot it better when he was young, they probably would have beaten Golden State in 16 when the Cavs beat them. Do you remember that team, how good they were? And they couldn't get over Golden State. Golden State won 73 games that regular season. It took LeBron James, his greatest moment in his career with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, to overcome that team by the skin of their teeth in 7 games. OKC almost did it. I'm just saying, Key J, that's a whole lot of. By the way, that same report from The Athletic, Nets are reportedly or they reportedly intend to keep Kyrie. Wonder why that.
Jay,
I told you he wasn't going anywhere. Everybody kept trying to say, oh, he's going to go here, he's going to go to the Lakers. I'm saying, if you got Kyrie Irving essentially on a 1-year deal where he's playing for his future in the NBA based upon how he handles it, you have great leverage because Kyrie needs to play at a high level. And even if, he hit somebody on Twitter with the whole capping thing about he had in his contract, he had to play a minimum 60 games, and he's like, whatever, you guys. There's a lot of ambition and motivation for Kyrie Irving to come back this year and try to destroy the league.
But that's why.
Well, I like the fact that the Nets said they intend on keeping him.
What do you like about that?
Because I intend